I've never been a regular exerciser. I might have gone to an aerobics class for a couple months at a time, but I never really stuck with it because it wasn't convenient or whatever reason. Then I was diagnosed with breast cancer 5 years ago, and I completely stopped exercising. Even though that's when I probably needed it the most, going through chemo and radiation, I just didn't push myself, and I didn't have the motivation to push myself through that. And it actually took me a few years after treatment to actually get back in the groove. I understood the connection between obesity and breast cancer recurrence, and I wanted to do everything I could to prevent it from coming back. And I lived in Milwaukee at the time, and a Fitness Together studio had opened in my neighborhood. It was in walking distance from my house. There were no excuses. So, although I was a little intimidated, I was overweight, out of shape, and not athletic. So I thought, what business do I have going into a training studio? But I did it, and I was hooked right away. The trainers were awesome. They really made an effort to understand what motivated me, and it was great. I saw progress in a short amount of time. Then last year, I decided to take a job here in Atlanta. And I just packed up my life and moved myself, just by myself, to a city where I didn't know anybody. Needless to say, that was a little stressful. And so the first thing I did, I got into town on Sunday. The first thing I did Monday morning was drive to the nearest Fitness Together. I knew I had to keep up my routine, mainly just to keep my routine going, but also to manage the stress. I think the thing that appeals to me about Fitness Together, it is training in a semi-private environment. I mean, it's not that I don't want people looking at me, but it's nice when you maybe don't have the confidence to get started in a place that's maybe a little less, there's a lot less activity going on. It's not like you're surrounded by bodybuilders that are working out with free weights and you're trying to figure out what to do. So I think it's a great place to get started, to get into the routine, to learn what you need to do. And then it's just the great trainers and the great program that keeps you coming. So I added cardio to my exercise routine, and I started watching my nutrition, and lo and behold, I started losing weight. And it was so fun coming into the studio and having the trainers say, "So how much have you lost now?" So I've lost 23 pounds since I started. And with the great training that I'm getting, it's more than just having an appointment that gets me there 3 times a week, although that does not hurt. It's the encouragement of the trainers. It's having them assess my how far I've come and being able to push me to the next level. And it's great walking in and hearing "Hi, Skinny."